Welcome to a world unknown. Thousands of people live within this world. And you, amongst all of them, are the hardiest, the strongest, and most importantly, the main characters. Live on and push through. For the battles ahead are ones of mystery and fame. And yet here you stand as one. I welcome you to the Shadows in the Gears.
Alrighty, guys, welcome to session 1 of Shadows in the Gears. In all honesty, I have been waiting a very long time to do this this campaign. I'm gonna go down the line of people that are here today, and when I call your name, just say hey, and tell us what your character's name is, okay? And maybe like a cool fact about them that's kind of already known. Nothing too crazy, you know. I don't want to spoil any lore or anything like that. So we're going to start off with Captain Codwell. I see. Next up on my list is Flake. Gotta love it, gotta love it. Next up on my list is Kabar Veltaro, also known as Ty. Gotta love it, gotta love it. And last on our list is my lovely fiance, Sarah. Awesome, awesome. So, I hope you guys can see my screen a little better. If at any moment you need me to go over something again, please tell me. And that being said, so you all are currently in a you are all currently within a city. It's very large, very beautiful city, but it's very industrial. Not industrial in the sense that it is gross looking, but more industrial in the sense that it is a steampunk industrial setting. You have pipes that stream from one side to the other, from building to building, buildings that shoot skyrocket into about 50, maybe 60 feet into the air. A beautiful city with thousands upon thousands of different races just sprawling through the city streets. And you find yourselves in a quaint little tavern. Captain Codwell, you are currently in this tavern sitting at the head of the bar. The man next to you is passed out drunk, and the bartender is keeping to his cups and silently walking around, making sure that people aren't too crazy. That's your third one today. You think you can manage? That is still to be seen, good sir. However, if you have the coin, I will suffice. The barkeep then goes back behind the bar, and from one of his own barrels, he pulls out a tap and pulls it down, and comes out in a nice stream. He hands it to you with the foam hitting the table, with the glass hitting the table, and the foam kind of spilling over. The barkeep then looks at you with a puzzled look on his face. Good sir, you seem to be a sailor of some kind. We don't have a a dock anywhere nearby. Might I ask, where have you come from? I gotcha. I gotcha. I see. Well, do yourself a favor, and while you're here, enjoy yourself. Cogsworth is a sprawling city of thousands upon thousands of things to do. Visiting a tavern is just one of them. As the conversation starts to kind of die down and the bartender walks back to his post, Flake, we avert our gaze to your character as he's sitting in a corner by himself in a booth made for two. It's like one of those small booths that you see typically in smaller restaurants, with one booth on one side and one booth on the other for two people. You take up both of them because you're not really too keen on talking to anybody right now. However, a waitress walks up to you, and with the sweetest voice that she can manage, because she's slightly intimidated by you, she tries to meet your gaze and.
Excuse me, sir. Might I ask, are you gonna order anything, or are you gonna sit here all day? Just one whiskey. I see, I see. Oh, sir, with a pint of whiskey, I do have to ask, no ice. I understand. It'll be right up.
And with that, she walks off. Kabar Voltaro, your character is actually just now entering the bar with your mentor. He is ironclad in massive green armor with a dragon symbol on the side of it. He looks down upon you as he is much taller than most people. And with a hearty voice, he gently talks to you in as soft tone as you can possibly manage.
Bob, I asked you one thing. If you hurt anyone in this tavern, make sure they deserve it.
He then continues on. Kabar, do you want to follow him, or do you want to continue about?
The bar, we meet at your front entrance in 30 minutes.
With that, our little druid is currently on a delivery run from the World Tree. For those who don't know, the World Tree is a large, sprawling druid city that does a lot of correlation and trading with all the surrounding cities, towns, and farms. Because they are the World Tree, they have so many different types of plants and vegetation there. They typically give all of their trade into their plants. And you see this tiefling walk in. She is carrying a basket filled with herbs, spices, and in her other hand, she is carrying a small box of tomatoes. You look at the bar. You see the barkeep, and he notices you, and he goes, "Ah, right on time. Let me guess. They sent me the tomatoes again, right?" I see. I see. Might I ask, did you get the herbs and spices that I ordered last time? Lovely, lovely. Do me a favor and just put that in the back room for me. Okay, so for those who don't know, I'm putting up the tavern now. You can unmute. Unless you have like background music. Unless you have like background like stuff, but still. I would recommend you mute then.
Can y'all hear him through me and vice versa? Okay, cool. I might mute occasionally, but I'll put that close to me. Okay, so like where's the back room? Is it like that top left one?
Yeah, that's gonna be where the storage room is.
Okay, cool. I head back there.
Okay, so you head back to the storage room, and within the storage room, I need you to mute. So, you head back into the storage room, and within the storage room is extra chairs, barrels of ale, and what catches your eye the most is this pedestal with a book on it. And the book has a cogwheel on it, and it says the Diamond Wyvern on it, which is the namesake of the tavern itself. Underneath it, you can see that it says Ledger. And underneath that is a sign that says managerial eyes only. Do not touch. It is just you back there.
So it's just like this book.
Yes, it's just a book with a cogwheel. So the book itself is about...
Like is it like big? Is it like a novel, or is it just like a little thin kind of like math textbook kind of thing?
It's very big.
Very big. Okay. It says managerial eyes only.
Yes.
I look at it. Wait, can I look around me and make sure no one's like really about to come in or anything?
Make a perception check.
The first roll of the campaign is me. Oh god. Okay. Hold on. Y'all can't see my dice, but the DM is in the same room as me, so flub anything, help. Okay, what is my... I have my character sheet somewhere. What's perception again? Wisdom. Okay, +1. That is an 18.
So you look around and nobody is there. However, you can see a few cracks in the walls that just say that the room is distressed.
Like, could someone peek through them kind of cracks, or just like little cracks?
Just cracks.
Okay, I look in the book. Just a little peek. Just like the first page or something.
You open the book. Mute. I'm too loud. So whenever I'm talking, you're gonna have to mute. Sorry. So you look into the book, and the first page has a table of contents on it, and the first one is simple. It just says it really just says expenses from like page 1 to 30. Page 31 to 50, however, is what catches your eye, as it says the unholy trinity. And then page 51 through 100 says the demons within, they hurt, they hurt.
And that's all that they say.
Yes, that is all they say.
Can I look around the room and see if there? Well, I close the book. Okay, wait. Is there anything like else in the room besides this book? Like
The only thing that sits in the room is you.
and the spices and tomatoes that I just set down.
Yes.
Okay. How well do I know this barkeep? Like, how often do I come here and do deliveries?
He refuses the same deliverer twice.
So this is like maybe like the second time.
He refuses the same deliverer twice, which means he will not have someone twice. Meaning you've only ever been there once. This is your first time. And this will be your only time.
Do I know that as common knowledge?
Yes.
Okay. I guess I walk out of the room after setting it down.
You exit the room. Well, you exit about where the ledger is, and you get to the door, and you hear a click. And the door locks itself. And the light in the room that is lit up by two or three candelabras that hang from the ceiling, chandeliers, my bad. They go out, and it's pitch black. And then a single blue light off of one of the chandeliers lights the room up with a very dim blue glow.
I have dark vision, so can I see anything else in the room with me?
It's bright enough that you can see. It's just really dim.
Okay. 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 Is it like the same room? Nothing changed. It's just really dark and I'm locked in here now.
You see writing on the wall that wasn't there before, almost like if it were a black light.
Is it what was in the book?
No. You look to the left of the wall, and it says, "Deliverers beware, he's not what he seems." And to the right it says, "Run, hide."
Run and hide?
Yes.
Okay, well, there's nowhere to run, I would assume.
Not here.
Is there anywhere to hide?
Yes, there are several places you can hide. You can either hide behind the barrels. There's a small section just large enough for you to fit in. Or you can hide yourself behind the chairs. Either way, you will be hidden.
Okay, let me make sure I don't have any sort of spells that can maybe have authority. I'm going to hide. What would I think would hide me better? Probably the barrels.
It's up to you.
Okay, I think I'm gonna hide behind the barrels and just have at the ready to just use poison spray or something. I'm not gonna use it, just have at the ready for
Okay.
anything that comes at me.
I got you.
Do I need to roll stealth for hiding or
Yes.
something? Okay.
While this is all going on, Kabar Viltaro, the barkeep notices your existence, and he kind of waves you over to the bar.
My roll was 12, by the way.
Okay.
I guess I'll just head over the direction of the barkeep.
All right. So you get closer. Please mute.
Sorry.
So you get closer, and the barkeep, his demeanor has changed from this happy-go-lucky, cheery bartender to a more stern look. He kind of pulls you in a little bit by the shoulder, not aggressively, just kind of like just so that only you and him can hear. I need your help.
What might you need help with?
The owner of this bar. He's in talks with someone. I'm pretty sure he's been kidnapping people recently.
I would like to confront the owner if he's here.
He never shows up during the day. The owner is only ever seen once a month in the middle of the night. I don't even know his name.
Do you know the usual route that he takes to the restaurant or the bar? Sorry.
I've never seen him. He shows up, does what he needs to do, and leaves in the middle of the night. None of us have ever seen him. With that, Captain Caldwell, it's close enough that you can hear this conversation.
Okay. I have one other question. How close was I to the storeroom door?
You were close enough that you could see it close and lock.
Okay, so I basically saw the whole interaction between the store, so I kind of start questioning things on why the door magically closed itself. Would that be was that intuition roll kind of thing, or
that you can just see it, so no rolls needed.
okay. Can I investigate the door?
You can, but it would definitely catch the eye of the bartender if you did.
Oh, what's that? Okay. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, so if you did investigate, you would definitely
Can
catch
I?
the eye of the
Okay,
bartender.
in that case, say I just nuzzle my way towards the conversation, and the inquisitive me looking for a sense of adventure. I asked the barkeep if he could require my assistance as well.
The barkeep looks over at you with a questioning look and goes, "Can I help you?"
I partially overheard your conversation about the bar owner being strange.
Yes, he is.
In particular, apparently kidnapping people?
He does indeed, from what I've been told, but I'm not quite sure.
Well, I don't know about you, but does that storeroom door usually close by itself?
Not typically, no.
Well, I just saw it close all by itself after that, the elf went in there.
Tiefling.
Tiefling!
How does it feel that you misgendered a tiefling?
Oh, God.
We got pointy ears. We're not all the same, man. I have purple skin. What the heck? And horns.
I mean, admittedly, my character is technically drunk.
That's fair.
Purple elf, that thing. Whatever.
Captain Hammer, you see that there's commotion now going on at the bar, and you're always, you're looking for something to do at this point. You're kind of bored, and the lady has given you the pint, by the way. With that, you push in between Captain Codwell and Kabar Viltaro and kind of position yourself in between everybody. And the barkeep goes, yes. Hello. Well, I guess there is, I guess you could say, a party. A party of 3 at the moment. Maybe a 4th one if we can ever figure out where she went. I guess since you're all here, follow me to the kitchen. He starts walking back to the kitchen, and it's very obvious where he's going, so you don't have to really, like, look for it or anything. Do you all follow him to the kitchen? Okay. So, as he walks back into the kitchen, you guys follow him. You can see that there's just a plethora of, kitchen utensils there. Nothing too dangerous. He sits you down, and he starts going into detail. As I've told our guard here, as I've told our guard here, we have some issues. Delivery persons typically don't come back from these delivery runs to our tavern. And we believe that our owner is talking to someone who kidnaps people. I need help, and I want out. I've never seen the owner before, and I don't want to. It has been several years since I have been hired, and only once have I seen anyone in a management spot. And that wasn't even the owner. At the moment, it's me. And that's a hard thing to say. The last management spot that was taken was about 2 or 3 years ago. It was a horrible time. He met his fatal doom. And we held a lovely ceremony for him. Yes, actually. His death was actually very strange. He was laid in his casket with bite marks all over his neck. We have no idea. They looked very piercing, though, and 2 very larger holes in between the rest of the bite marks. Yes. About human size. It was honestly quite scary. We didn't know what to think of it, honestly. You're cutting in and out, by the way. He goes and he starts pacing through the room. He's going back and forth. He goes, "Where is that delivery woman?" Yes, but it's not supposed to do that. So, you all are talking. While this is going on, we avert our gaze to what is happening in the storage room. You, our druid, they see this creature, this thing, walking through the storage room. You are hidden perfectly as to where you can see them, but they cannot see you. It is long, tall, long flowing hair, a robe like none other, black, with red lining, gold trim on the shoulders. Every step he takes makes the sound of the boot hitting the wood. He averts your gaze and looks directly at you but cannot see you. He then moves on. You hear stone start to move, and then it moves back. And as soon as that happens, our party of 3 are being led to the door. This is it. This is the door. Here, let me get my key. He starts rummaging through his keys of like 50 different keys on a massive key ring. And then he grabs the oldest key that he has, which is a rusty key, and he puts it in the door, and you hear click. And he opens the door, and he sees the blue light, but is completely unfazed by it.
So y'all just entered? Or the door opened?
Yes.
I'm still behind the barrel. At the ready to attack. I'm on the defense. But I hear the door open. And I just kind of shout out, "Hello? Good people?" Maybe. My head peeks out from under the barrel. And I see the barkeep. I'm like, okay. So I drop my defense for a moment and I come out. Why did the door shut on me and lock on me? I'd say look straight like at the barkeeper.
Honestly, I do not know.
Secondly, there was someone in here that was just marching around and I think looking for me. A little confused by that.
That is concerning. I've heard stories.
You don't know what the owner looks like?
I've never seen him.
Do you have a rough... I heard a shifting of stone. Do I like remember where it came from?
No.
Can I maybe look around to see anything?
Roll an investigation check. Mute.
I can't mute every single time that you speak.
You're gonna have to.
Can y'all hear him that bad?
I have to talk really quiet.
So do I. Welcome to my... Eventually we won't have this problem, I promise. Okay, you said investigation?
Mm-hmm.
I'm also trying to... I need to get like one actual notepad. 11 plus 4, 15. Is that good enough? Perhaps?
You can see that there are cracks in the stone wall.
Can I move them?
No.
I just noticed cracks. That's it. Like no, like where to move stone anywhere.
The cracks themselves, I need you to mute. It messes with me. I can't talk when there's two of me.
Mute me.
I didn't think about that.
Wait, would your stream still be able to hear me?
No. That's why
That's why. Okay.
you just mute. So, the way that it is you can tell that it's been moved, but it's extremely heavy stone. Like the type of wall that has rebar built into it. It's a very hefty piece of stone. Roll a strength check. Yeah.
My strength is -2, so there's no way I'm moving stone.
Okay, so Ty, you're rolling with advantage. Yeah. Just roll twice, and whichever one's higher, take the highest one.
Ooh, 3 men helping me. Great.
Okay, so whose modifier is the largest here? Okay. Yeah, so this definitely moves. However, the way that it moves is not familiar to you in any way. You push the stone, and as it's being pushed out, it moves out a little bit, and then it slides to the left. Just a small tunnel that leads nowhere.
I look at the barkeep and I'm like, did you know that this was here?
Not in my 5 or 6 years of being here, no.
So you mean to tell me that one, you've never seen the owner within 6 or so years, and secondly, you didn't know about a secret room in your own bar?
There's a lot I don't know, dear. A lot.
Why did I take this job? At what cost?
With that, Kabar, your captain general calls your name.
Goodbye.
He beckons your presence.
Status report. I have descended. Take me to it.
He walks, and with a commanding presence, I might add, into the storage room. Taking his helmet off, revealing his pitch black, dark skin and red eyes. He looks at the tunnel that leads into nowhere.
It's been touched by dark magic. I can feel it. That doesn't mean that they're not here. You of all people should know, Bar, that the dark magic users are always like it.
He looks over at the barkeep.
Barkeep, do you mind if I get into your mind?
The barkeep looks at him and goes, peer into my mind. Like, read it. Like in my thoughts.
It's more like I'm going to look into your soul.
I guess if I must. And with that, the larger, ironclad, armored individual places his hands onto the shoulder of the barkeep. And a bright green glow can be seen from the entirety of the barkeep's body, outlining beautifully. Then everything goes back to normal, and the captain looks around.
He's telling the truth. He's never seen this night in his life.
Is there any sort of evidence of a trail of where the owner could be in his room, or anywhere anything?
I looked. Nothing. Quickly, we must take this to the Vanguard. None of you, you're with me.
Okay. Wait, barkeep. Do I at least get paid for this? You know, you're supposed to pay me, and you're like, I almost died a second ago, so I think I.
The barkeep hands you your regular payment and then some. It's 7 silver pieces plus a gold piece.
Okay.
I think you've earned it.
Marking that down in my inventory.
With all that being said, the ironclad captain, he walks out, and do you guys follow him?
I follow because I have nothing else better to do.
You guys walk out, and you see a beautiful, bustling city. The city of Cogsworth. What's up? I mean, I guess I can. Roll a persuasion check. Yes. What is, I believe, wisdom, right?
For what?
Perception, or not, persuasion is charisma. What's your charisma modifier?
Persuasion is charisma, yes. If you're on D&D Beyond, it should tell you right next to your thing that it's like a plus something. Mine's plus 4.
So dirty 20. It's a dirty 20. Not a nat 20, different. But he goes, screw it, you helped me. Might as well. He hands everyone a drink and goes, be on your way. You can all add 1 sealed bottle of rum. And with that, so with that, you all follow the ironclad soldier out into the world, and he's terrifying, genuinely. But Kabar Valtaro, he's used to this. If you will look, I've got a map here. This is Cogsworth.
Big town. Sorry.
Pretty big town.
You guys are going to be in the second ring of Cogsworth. And you are more specifically in... Let's see if I can get it pulled up here. You are more specifically in the Blade Ward.
Blade Ward?
I will send it in the maps channel for you guys to look at.
I will need that. I'm blind.
If you can't see it, just open it in browser. It'll be easier to see there.
Oh, okay, I see it. Yeah, okay.
As you step out, you can, when he opens the door, perfectly see Cogsworth as you are inside the tavern. However, as soon as you each step out into the city, you step into a shop.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Oh,
no.
dear.
So we took one step and we ended up in a shop.
The entire shop is filled with gears and clocks and all sorts of steampunk goodies. You can faintly hear the sound of a whirring noise of maybe a flying machine of some kind. Something you guys probably have not seen before. However, to your surprise, it is nowhere to be found. You all take kind of a step back, as this is not something you're used to in the slightest. And in all honesty, it's kind of concerning. But you all look around, and it's generally just a beautiful little shop. And then you hear from behind the counter, oh God, customers. Welcome to the great Eastern Steampunk Shop. My name is Mr. Goodsby. If you guys will take a look, this is Mr. Goodsby.
Toto, we're
Looks
not
like the
as
sniper if he was an
anymore.
old man. Like legit, the dude kind of legit looks like the sniper from Team Fortress 2 if he was
Yeah,
like
kinda-
aged
Yeah,
up
he does.
by about 100
Yeah,
years.
I can see it.
Years.
Yeah. He just aged up a little bit, like fine.
He done quit his day job.
Ari's
Just like,
Ari's
good
gonna
day,
look behind
mate.
her
Good day,
and
mate.
look for
Sniping's a
what we
good
came
job,
out of.
mate.
Like, what's behind me? Like, we walked out expecting the city. We find a shop. Like, what's behind me now?
Yeah.
The tavern.
So are the two buildings connected in some way?
So the tavern is just connected to this random guy's shop, like.
I don't remember walking in from the walking into the shop and then the tavern. Do I?
Neither do
No.
I.
You remember, every single one of you. You remember walking into the tavern from Cogsworth from that exact door.
Aha.
So just
I
now
can
appear.
tell you are all
But
quite
why?
confused. Let me explain myself, my good friends. I am Mr. Goodsby. Of course, I've said this before. And you are all in my great Eastern Steampunk shop. Used to be formerly known as the Great Western Steampunk Shop, but we have recently been renamed. I must say, quite a great good practice for us. It was fantastic move. Now, I will get this one thing across. We are a trans-dimensional traveling team of 2 people, me and Dr. Goodsby. Dr. Goodsby has since long passed, and God bless his soul. However, Mr. Goodsby is still kicking and still running. Pretty much, you guys have entered into my trans-dimensional steampunk shop. Whenever you enter through a door, you have a very small and slight chance to find me. Hello, I'm Mr. Goodsby. And with that, Mr. Goodsby takes out like a potion and like opens it, and you can see like sparkles come out of it. Like he's just, you know, like magician style sparkles, just wee. And he throws it up into the air. And then you see this thing come out from behind him and snap it out of the air and bring it back in. You only see its hand, and it was really long, and it came from the back room.
Huh.
That's weird.
I like your
Makes
words,
sense.
Magic Man.
I like your words, Magic Man.
He just kind of looks at you and goes, "Don't mind that. His name is Philip. I've met him on my journeys along the way."
Can I question him on what exactly is Philip? Because seeing a massive hand snag a potion midair is kind of, you know, little.
You don't see that on
What's the
every other
word for
movie?
it?
Yeah, you can ask him. Go ahead.
Quick question, good sir. What in the actual flying 9 hells was that? What is Philip?
Oh, yes, Philip. Well, I met him on my travels in a completely separate dimension from yours. Man, I met him in a lovely place, too. There were these 4 or 5 individuals. The 5th one was ever so slightly changing and never showed up quite often. However, they were wonderful people. One of them was a bird. Another was a fun little halfling. He was a beautiful creature, I have to admit. She died, of course, but, you know, all good and good. She was a bard, too. She played wonderfully. However, I've met Philip on their timeline. By the way, none of this makes any sense to y'all. You have no idea what he's talking about. Most of it's just nonsensical rambling. But, I've met Philip on my travels, and, well, he's a creature of rare commodity. I'm never letting him out of my sight. However, he feeds off of pain. You hit him, he enjoys it, he eats it, and continues living.
So the creature is a masochist.
I was about to say that. So what you're telling me is that if I shoot him with my flintlock, he will go, I am a tickle.
It's more like
my.
it's more like a satisfying feeling. He doesn't really talk, and well, he understands me, but it's more like a dog interaction.
I'm gonna get the important question out of the way. How does this all exactly work? What type of magic or machinery does this use?
My transdimensional machine.
What exact components allow it to go through these dimensions and not break down between travels?
With help from my patron, of course. The reality god himself.
I see.
That is troubling. Do you know the exact consequences of meddling with other gods?
Well, specifically with this one, there are no consequences.
There's always consequences.
Must be nice.
He gives you a quizzical look, but eventually gets back. Anyways, enough talking about Philip. Philip is just a passing time thing. Welcome to my steampunk shop. I've got all types of commodities and little nips and bobs here. My favorite thing, and then he pulls out this little clock that's about the size of his thumb. He clicks it, and it turns into a grandfather clock. I just love this thing. It's so beautiful, isn't it? Anyways, do you guys have anything you need, of course? Anything at all?
I just stare on with childhood bewilderment at what I've just witnessed.
He takes that into account, and he hands you like one of those toys that has a ball in it with a string that you can like flip up and down.
I try to continue to ask the shopkeeper about this outer garden, what he knows about it, to try to get some info out of him.
He
So just-
doesn't really give you a lot to go off of, to be completely honest.
So he doesn't know himself what it is. He just
knows
hopes.
that the reality god is here to help.
I've met many like you.
Yes, quite a few. I once remembered a man who was in talks with someone named... Oh, what was it? It started with a D of some sorts. Never mind you be. He was a forgotten god. Yes, a god that was cast out from the rest of the gods. Our paladin here might know something more about that. You know enough, but not enough to hold a conversation.
Wait, what class is everybody? I clearly missed the introduction of just the people.
So, if you want to see their class, you can check characters. Captain Codwell is... Well, if I could pull up his sheet, that'd be great. Captain Codwell is a rogue. Kabar Veltaro is a paladin. And if I can get there, that'd be fantastic. Our lovely Captain Hammer is a barbarian. And you are of course, you know, a druid and a warlock.
Fair enough. Cool. Also, besides Flick, what does everybody else look like?
So if you take a look, and I will see if I can find one really quickly. Can someone send a picture of a salamander in chat, please? I'm too lazy. I believe his connection died out. He'll be back soon.
Okay, cool. Oh, you're terrifying. Okay, so we have a shark. I mean, he's a big softie. Okay, got it. So we have a hammerhead shark. We have. Oh, wait. I just realized you could hear me, and I wasn't even unmuted. Lord have mercy. Love to see it. What does your character look like? have a tiefling, we have a hammerhead shark, and then thingy thing.
A Goliath.
Yeah. Anyways. Are we still in the shop? Where are we? Sorry, I totally like.
You're still in the shop.
Okay.
What bar? Not exactly, no. I haven't seen the outside world in years. Well, you see, I travel from doorway to doorway. Depending on what doorway I'm in, is where you'll be. So, for example, I'm currently in the doorway of a tavern. I didn't even know that until you guys told me. I just haven't tried. No, I quite like it here. I'd actually like to stay. With that, he then looks very concerned as he looks back and he sees a little dial starting to go down. Oh, time's up, time's up. You must be going. Shoo shoo. Unless you want to come with me to the next dimension.
I think we're good, thanks.
With that, he shoos you out and he walks out from behind the counter and he's criminally small. He's like 3'2", and he was standing up on a stool to be able to be seen. He goes, go on, get out. You guys are shoot out of the building, and you're back into the tavern, and you're able to walk out into Cogsworth, and for the first time, you see this beautiful city. You never truly looked into how beautiful the city was until now. It's so just different. Almost uncannily. But no matter. The captain is in the same spot as almost as if time didn't move while you were in the store. Questions to ask for another day.
God's only knows how long, I guess.
Quickly. We must make haste. He looks down at you, waiting a response as he can tell that you wanted to tell him something.
I see.
I see. Well, we'll report this to the chaplain. That's heresy. That's heresy. There's only one God, and you know that.
With that, he looks up into the sky. And you see he takes his helmet off to look up into the sky at the clouds.
Imperialis, save us. There's too many heretics in this world.
And with that, yeah, they're very loud.
Kabar, is it? Might I ask, what god is it that you believe in?
We believe in the man in golden-clad armor, bound by the flaming sword of the god, with his shield at his side and a flag raised high. We follow the Imperialis Adeptus. He is the one true God. Maybe one day we will teach the rest of this world about.
With that, he starts walking to the vanguard. And with haste, I might say, you might need to keep up.
Keep up, losers.
So, as you're walking through, you see a mix of different things. You see a band of dwarves and a blacksmith talking to each other. You see a group of elves holding books and scrolls coming out of a college. You actually see a diverse group of individuals of elves, dwarves, humans, and dragonborn all coming out of a store. And then you see the vanguard. And it's littered with nothing but people in green armor. And curiously, Kabar, there is one there who is in red armor with golden trim.
That is Dante. And we will respect him with as much respect as you give me.
He then walks forward, passing Dante, stopping, giving him a nod, and moving forward. As he reaches the vanguard, the door is massive, about 11 or 12 feet tall, massive. He pushes it open with ease. And inside, you see a cathedral. Most of you have never seen the Imperialis before, but you look up, and beautifully stained glass is a large being with a claw for a hand in one and a bright, burning sword in the other, staring up into the sky with his foot on a stone. It is beautiful craftsmanship, and it puts everybody in awe whenever they see it. Kabar, while you are here, you will get advantage on any roll you make. Then he darts down a hallway.
Quickly, we must speak to the chaplain.
They stop at a door that is dark black. He then turns around to all of you.
You speak when you're spoken to. Understood. Good. I don't want to cheat my belt on anything in here. And if I do, the chaplain will have my head and yours.
As he says that, he walks in, and it's uncomfortable what you see. A man in black armor with green pauldrons sitting at a chair completely made of human skulls. He stands up and he gives the captain a bow. And he looks around.
Who are these people? You. Brother. State your name.
He's talking to Kabar.
Understood. Yep. Report.
With that, the captain gives him a quite quizzical look, as he doesn't really know where to start.
Well, we have disturbances in the second ring at Cogsworth. So, I urge you to look in to the vampirical side of things.
The chaplain looks visibly irritated.
I told you once before, Captain. It will not happen. There are no vampires here.
And with that, the captain steps back, and for the first time, is more submissive in his actions. And it's visible. Which puts you guys at a little more ease towards him, but a whole lot more scare to the chaplain.
The rest of you. Names, now. The blood from the tree of the world, I assume. You, shark man. State your name. You're quite far from your people. I must say you've come to the right city. You there, Iris. Think I've heard of you before. Oh yes. Upsettingly. Wasn't it your ship? It sunk one of ours. In the midst of the chaos between a war between us and an elven kingdom.
You don't really know if this is true or not, because you weren't actually on the top of the ship. You weren't anywhere on the deck. You were underneath it when it was happening.
I will not make you speak of the matter any further. Just know that your captain of that ship specifically is gone.
He then sits down, raises a glass that has a symbol on it. A skull with two wings on each side. And he raises it to the captain.
Go. Make yourselves known. We have a meeting tonight.
And with that, he ushers you out. You can hear, as you leave the room, the sound of a deeper voice. A much, much deeper voice.
I am not too pleased with the existence or thought of such heretical means, Chaplain.
And with that, you hear a snap, as it's a bone snapping, and a thud. Kabar, this makes you pissed.
I did. That's the fourth chaplain this week. Yeah, I know. I thought they did up with both of them tonight.
He looks around.
You can all stay here for the night. I will not make you pay. We are not that way. But please, for our sake and your own, if you believe in anything else, do not practice it here. He then starts walking in a direction and leaves you more. Congratulations, you are now a party.
Sorry about the voice. I sometimes forget.
So, what's the plan exactly? Why are we here? I look to Kabar, maybe saying, because he's the one that kind of brought us here.
Kabar, what you know mostly is with the meeting, that typically means that there's a mission involved the next day.
Mission for what exactly? Chasing after this bar owner? This lead?
With that information, Dante walks into the hallway with his helmet off. You see he has long, flowing blonde hair, and he's battle scarred. With an axe on his back, he steps, slowly, quietly, and calmly. He looks over at Aya, correct? Ari, my bad. He looks over at Ari, gives her a nod, specifically. And then he looks over at Kabar. Well met, brother. Well met. Please tell me, what business is it that you have with the chaplain? And let me guess. The chaplain is now deceased? I understand. It's not as bad as the scouts that are out in the forest. I had to retrieve 36 bodies last night. All that I know is that you four are involved. And you will be receiving orders.
Can I exactly ask how are we involved?
You will be given a great sum of money for finishing this mission.
I'm convinced. Say less.
With that, he walks off into the chaplain's room, picks up the chaplain's body, and he walks out. He looks down at the chaplain's face, now completely uncovered. You poor, poor soul. You will have a proper burial soon. I will see you all at 8. If you are late, there will be consequences. He then walks off.
Yeah, Kabar, I don't know much about this place or your people, but they're a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. And I've seen scary before, so. I mean, you and me both, brother. Where are we going? Like, where are we staying exactly?
Kabar, you actually know exactly where to go in this situation. There's a specific set of rooms for visitors who are typically like strays who come in looking for a home, but they were actually today fitted as special rooms for guests with the finest linens and beddings and even your own set of green clothing to wear so that you don't stand out too much.
We don't have to change into this clothing, right? Kabar. We don't have to change into this clothing, right?
No.
I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't want to look like I'm purple. I have a cohesive color scheme going on. Good. Joker's copyrighted.
So that it's actually set up in a 3-piece set of a shirt that's a button down, a set of pants, and a large coat that hangs about to where your wrists are. The pants are a little big on you. They don't really know your size. Um, Captain Hammer, your clothing is literally the same size, and you actually, if you were to try and fit in it, I mean, you can definitely try. I'd actually like to see that, just so that we can get this interaction.
Roll for stretch.
Yeah, that works.
I tear a little piece of the shirt. I make a little bandana, little bracelet thing so you can
You actually start as you are all finished with your clothing and knowing where you are, you hear a group of younger men running through the halls. Kabar, you're quite used to this. They are the Imperialis Guard. They wield spears, and they are typically in a tannish colored armor set of leather. And they seem to be running towards something. You can see them go down the hallway and then take a left. There's a constant stream of these guards heading out. You have the opportunity, if you want to stop one. Yes, my lord. What do you need? A fight has broke down in the temple. We need all the men we can get. Please, anyone.
Ari hears this and kind of exits out and just follows the crowd, not to help, but just to watch them.
Does anybody else follow? Caldwell, do you follow? Okay, so you all start walking towards the commotion, and you see it's really hard to tell who is in the wrong here until the only person that can manage to see this is Kabar, because he looks for this kind of thing. Kabar, you see someone emblazoned with a red symbol on their shoulder. A circle with 4 tendrils coming out of each of it in an equal pattern. You get closer and you can very visibly see that this man is not for the Imperialis. As a matter of fact, he is a known heretic. And the man he is fighting, you know him a little bit, but not too much. He is one of the guard, but he tends to stick with the space of mind that his men aren't good enough for him, not because he thinks less of them, but because he's such of a high command position that it kind of makes him uncomfortable to sit that close to his men. The leader puts him in a chokehold and starts to wrench up to knock him out. This one desecrated the holy ground. You then look back and you can actually see it's a visible and angering feeling. A massive logo that has been painted on the altar that sits in the center of the room. And it's the logo of the circle with the 4 tendrils going out in each direction. And then you can hear the heretic squelching under his breath. He will be here tonight. Closer and closer does he come. You will all see. You will all see. And then as soon as he says that, he passes out.
Can I roll a religion check and see if I notice what that symbol means?
Go for it.
natural one. I have no clue.
You are so not in tune with knowledge of this specific religion that it kind of intrigues you a little bit.
At my stupidity or at the symbol?
No, like, as in, you are so not aware of how bad this religion is, you're thinking it might be a good idea to follow it at some point.
That's a bad. No. What? I would never think that, but okay.
It's more like a passing thought.
It might be. Oh, like it would be better than my circumstance kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Um. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You do that with ease. I'm not even gonna make you roll for that. Caldwell, roll an investigation check. You
We're cooked.
stumble your hands over the symbol and accidentally chipped the altar with your armor. Or like any sort of metal bit that you have on your person, it chips the altar a little bit.
You chipped the altar. Kabar starts tweaking.
While you're saying that, roll a persuasion check to see if anybody believes you. Yeah, Caldwell. Roll a persuasion check to see if anyone believes that that wasn't you. That's
How many pluses?
charisma for that. So, what's your charisma modifier? That's a 10. It's a passable lie.
Wait, wouldn't it be deception, not persuasion? It would be deception, not persuasion.
Yeah, same thing.
Because you're lying. Not the
Um,
same thing. Persuasion is persuasion. Deception is deception. DM.
I mean, it's the same modifier.
Yeah, it is. That's fair.
Okay. While we wait,
I want a treat. I want ice cream. McDonald's has these.
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna play some ambience while we wait. It's Age of Sigmar type stuff.
I wasn't mentally prepared to even do this until next week, so like I'm still fleshing out even the idea of Ari, so like bear with me. Well, like no, like her backstory's there, but like I have not fully in her like headspace. Like I try to use most of my characters, like Ren's seen it. I usually get
Mhm.
in there, so she's still bear with me. I'm waiting.
I want you to know I wing everything.
Well, you're the DM. You kind of have to. You just have like a human, and then you have full on shark.
I kind of hope that you guys take it to a point where it's like, I kind of hope you guys take it to a point where you guys can almost become partners in a way of like partners in crime. Like you got the rogue over here who's like being real sneaky, and you got the big barbarian guy over here who just kicks things down. Like, shut up. Mm-hmm.
I thought you were just gonna say thirsting, like simping, and I was like, okay, cool, go
He's
on.
just always thirsting for stuff. I love that.
My character is interesting. Tiefling. An imp is wild. Sir. Can I help you? Hold on, let me drop Ari's pic real quick in this sidebar thing. Hold on. I gotta humble you real quick, my guy. Cause what? Hello? Hold on.
Okay. So let's get back into it, shall we? We have a few left. We have a few minutes. We're not gonna get too far into it afterwards. We're probably gonna get to the meeting and what your mission is, and that's about it for today. Yeah. Call this session 0, if you will. Are you drinking? Yeah. Yeah. I gotcha.
Wait, what's the second image, Blake? What's that? Wait.
That's what he's based off of.
Oh, okay. But you look more like the first image. Mine's AI generated because I can draw, but I don't have a working digital tablet. So. Oh, there's the boy.
I love that so much.
That's amazing.
That is fantastic. If you can take a photo of that, I'll make it into an emote.
That's my mental state. Constantly.
Okay. So, back into it. Mute.
I'm working on that.
You said it right the first time. Okay, so, Kabar, as you bring the heretic into the room, everybody else is kind of sat outside in the room. Like, okay, this is gonna sound really it's gonna sound kind of funny, but it's about the best description I can give. It's as if you were waiting to be called in by the principal. It's about the best description I can give. Kabar, you are holding him by the head, and you're holding him up in front of you. And the captain goes,
Was this heretic that I heard about you? That symbol is giving off evil magic. Someone can do with the children. You're the one who grabbed him. It's your decision now. I've been in the Imperialis. You're in the Ukraine, correct? Place your hands on his shoulders. Dig deep into your soul and search within him.
Roll an investigation check, please. You look into his soul and you see a glimpse of something horrifying. A man with black hair, red eyes, staring directly into your soul. On his carapace is the same symbol that is on this man's shoulder, wearing a black robe with red trim and gold trim on the shoulders, with boots that step and make loud, pounding noises with every step. He has been seen twice now. Once by Ari, and another by Kabar. Except this time, you're seeing him through the eyes of the heretic, as this man bends down. And in your peripherals, you see him take a bite out of the heretic's neck. The heretic falls to the floor but does not die. And you hear a most disgusting voice. Not disgusting in the sense that it's a difficult voice to listen to, but the way that he talks, it is heretical beyond belief. Arise, my thrall. You are now a part of me. If there is one thing I will not have, it is thralls who are incompetent. Rise, thrall of Salonius of Frenwell. And with that, you can tell he's too far gone, and he needs to be put to rest.
Take him to the pain with one. What hurts my heart, but you know them again.
And with that, he turns his head away, not wanting to see him get executed. Does anyone else follow him? You see him crumble beneath you and look up. We are the thousands. We are the sons. He is the father. Love, hate, destruction. That is all we see when we look at society. And yet here you stand, ready to destroy a soul in the midst of it all. I curse you. Roll a strength check. Yeah.
Honor?
So
I don't have a Glock, per se, but I do have a mean staff that I can just whack. But I don't carry it on me, so it's back in my room. So at my hand, I have. I will do. I don't.
not yet.
Well, probably not ever. I do have poison spray. Okay. So y'all are just shooting at him, and for my little thingy tips, because it's just a cantrip, so it's just at will. I just poison spray him.
Everybody do me a favor and roll just a regular D20 roll. There are no there are no add-ons to this.
18.
Okay.
I'm carrying all of you.
So the initial poison mist.
I can roll damage if you need me to.
No. So the initial poison mist. Mute. The initial poison mist. You can see it seep out of her fingers and onto this man's face, and you can see every bit of smoke that came out of her fingers was inhaled on purpose. He took it in willingly. Then the two firings of the flintlocks fired into the chest. This knocked him down, and he stared up at the large man in armor. As the hammer comes down, and you feel something's not right. As his head squishes. And in your head, all of you, you hear the faint voice. One that you are uncertain about.
Leave him. He is not your enemy anymore. The world creeps in. I, Sir Leonius of Renzweii, will have my revenge.
You all heard that in your head. he's sitting there, head in hands, on his desk. Yes.
What would his name?
You very vividly remember his name is Sir Leonius of Frenwell.
Renzweii. No, that can't be. Fernwell's been a long-lost city for thousands of years. It's in ruins. I can't believe this. Anyways, we must talk about this later. Everyone make haste. The meeting starts in 5 minutes.
And with that, he gets up and pushes past all of you. Punctuality is key for this man, and he will not be late on account of some people in his way. You get there, and Kabar, this is your first real meeting that you have attended. You've heard of meetings plenty before, and you know what they mean, but you've never been in the meeting room yourself. Along with everybody else, this is your first time seeing this room. It is a circular room with no corners, one door, and a table that sits in the center with an opening in the middle for someone to speak. The table has 20 different seats that are very large, and several smaller seats that sit around the edges of the room. You see in the center of the room, sitting at the table, is all the different leaders, I guess you could say. Ironclad in different colored armors. And at the center of it all is a very large blue armored individual. And he looks down upon all of you. He specifically takes most disdain in seeing the tiefling and the shark man. However, he keeps his mouth shut. I don't have to tell you all why you're here. For those who have just arrived and do not have a seat in the council, take a seat around. I will not ask again. He takes... sorry, continue. It's strong enough to hold up one of whatever Kabar is, so it can definitely hold any one of you. You all sit down, and the large blue ironclad man takes his helmet off, and you see a scar down his left eye. Very short hair. We are here today to talk about our next plan of action. Captain, I hear from Vulcan that your reports are less than ideal. And I don't like it. As for the rest of you, We have got to lower the kill count on our men. We lost our 4th chaplain of today, and I will not have it again. He then looks over at someone in yellow armor with a checkered pattern on the left pauldron. And on the right pauldron is a V symbol with the Roman number 2 in it. An upside down V with a Roman 2. Lumar, status report on the small village that you have been acquiring. He sounds very distressed, but it's kind of difficult to understand him.
The ice village is difficult to contain. We need more men. Send me more of my yellow ironclad soldiers and I will take it by noon tomorrow.
So be it. And with that, he sits back down. Now, for the main reason why we are here. You 4 in the back. Front and center. Now. As you walk by everyone, the faces that you see are so vastly different than what you are used to. You see Dante. You see Vulcan. You see the captain, who you are quite used to at this point. You see the man in yellow armor, forcibly keeping his helmet on. You see somebody with horns sticking out of his helmet, and an almost bloodish color to his armor. Very distressed. And a few other faces here and there, but they're all wearing different colored armors. You get in front of him, the leader of the council. I have a mission for you all. You 4 specifically. And you will be paid well if you complete this mission. There have been multiple disappearances in Cogsworth, and we have traced it back to one location. Gloomhaven. Once you get there, you mustn't speak anything of what you have seen today. You must find a tavern called the Juneberry. Ask for the Clock of Shadows. He will know what that means. Once you reach your destination, and you have found what you are looking for, and you will know, bring it here at once. I will only ever ask of you this once. Do I make myself clear? And with that, he asks you all to sit down. And as per usual, upon every existence of the council and the meeting that we hold, to the almighty Imperialis, make haste and heal us, for thou art the greatest in the sky. Father, hear my words, for you are nothing more and nothing greater. Council dismissed. The Angel Sanguine will see you out. And with that, you are forced out of the room, not by anybody touching you, but by willpower alone. And with that being said,
we see our party once more, embarking on the journey of a lifetime, with a payment they have never seen before in their lives. This is the opportunity to change their life for the better. If there is one thing they must know, it's that this demon is the nature that they have to be upon them. There's Leonius and will not hurt them. For the clock ticks and turns, and the gears, they follow in its steps. Of the shadows and the gears.